My name is Abi. I am the Regional Project Coordinator for EASTRIP, based in Kampala. I will serve you here as a facilitator for the opening session. Dear participants of this event, on behalf of my team who has organized such a wonderful event and myself, I would like to welcome you all to this beautiful city, Addis Ababa, the diplomatic capital city of Africa. I would also like to confirm to you that you are in the country that is holding the Ark of the Covenant, as well as a piece of the true cross on which the Lord Jesus Christ was crucified. This therefore means that you are in a blessed country, and all of you are blessed while you are here. The purpose of the launch program, therefore, is to bring EASTRIP and non-STRIP community together and officially instate the commencement of the project in the 3 participating countries, including Ethiopia, Kenya, and Tanzania, and promote the objectives of EASTRIP after a hard work of the preparation for the last 2 years.
So I am therefore very glad to see that the project is appropriately titled East Africa Skills for Transformation and Regional Integration Project. The key word, ladies and gentlemen, here is skills. Our graduates must be critical thinkers, they must be creative, they must be innovative, and that way we are going to solve problems that affect us. We are going to come up with our own solution to our own problems. IUCA's commitment and determination to make EASTRIP a truly transformative project, not only for the benefit of the 3 participating countries, but also beyond our borders. And I want to congratulate every one of you for having participated in this and hope that we all succeed in this project.
I must say that this is a very exciting moment for me, because this is the day that we have been waiting for. After so much preparations, so much energy, so much passion, now it has come to pass. And this to me is very important because of the transformative impact that this project is supposed to have in our region.
The World Bank's Africa Regional Integration Strategy strongly supports regional integration as a key strategy for advancing Africa's growth and development. Thus, EASTRIP is designed to unlock the human capital potential of African youth by equipping youth with relevant skills and promoting African integration by facilitating labor mobility. Ethiopia, Kenya, Tanzania represent the initial group of countries working together to establish regional flagship TVET institutes that will not only provide the skilled workers required by growing economies, but will also, as the word flagship entails, become the leaders and trigger and guide continental-wide TVET reform and advancement.
Our sincere thanks goes to the World Bank, represented here by higher officials from the headquarters, for considering TVET and approving the project as an IDA credit and grant amount of 293 million. I also would like to thank and welcome the presence of the World Bank officials, honorable ministers, and also welcome directors, and the other STEM delegates whose participation indicators and confirms of the importance of the 3 implementing countries attached to this project launching event.
I want to take one moment to reflect why we are doing TVET, why we are doing skills. There are clearly economic, social, and educational reasons why we are investing in TVET and skills. We talk about increasing the human capital, labor productivity. We need skills to sustain and to propel economic growth. Economists will tell you the returns are positive for TVET. They are higher than investment in just primary education, and sometimes they are higher than investment just in academic programs. Upgrading skills of youth and labor force is critical to enable economic restructuring, to enable diversification, and to help technology transfer, to facilitate any kind of grandiose talk we have been hearing about industrial revolution. Without a skilled labor force base, none of this would happen. There's also very strong, compelling social reasons why we are doing TVET. As we know, everywhere globally, kids from poor, disadvantaged families, they normally do not have option to proceed to higher education. They most likely will also learn in a different style. They tend to be more a practical learner, a practice learner. So there are strong social reasons for us to do that. And there are also very strong educational reasons, as we all know. People learn differently, we have multiple intelligence, and TVET promotes lifelong learning.
I'd like to invite Tsega Traditional Band to come and entertain us just before we launch. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the support, the drive, and the commitments of participating governments and some key partners. So ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together as we welcome our guest of honor to this stage, the State Minister for Science and Higher Education, the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, Honorable Dr. Abdulwasa Abdullahi. Please welcome. At the Inter-University Council, Professor Mike Kuria. Please join me as we come closer to the ribbon. Together with Tsega Traditional Band, we are going to count down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
In Singapore, we have done a PPP to operate all non-core functions of one of our technical institutes. For example, the building maintenance, the security, parking, waste disposal, provision of gas facilities, and so on and so forth. But the academic training is done entirely by the Institute of Technical Education. But there are risks in PPP, and you have to be aware of these risks and manage them well. The first risk is what I call the risk of mixed mission. A mixed mission is because you, as a training provider from the government side, you have a social mission to provide a public good. This is a social mission. But the private sector partner has a profit mission. So these two are like water and oil. They don't mix together. So you have to ensure that while the private partners' private profitability is there, it is not excessive, but at the same time, they are meeting the social goods and social needs that you prescribe. And therefore, you have to have KPIs. You have to have performance indicators. And these performance indicators must be properly established so that they are held accountable for them. Have we ever spoken to the student and the parents? Have we? Where does he want to work? What industry does he like? What kind of job does he want? What are his or her aspirations? I think we need to do a little bit more work on that. So top-down decision-making without consulting grassroots people and providers and stakeholders. We need to go down to the ground to talk to people, not just big-time formal industry, but the informal sector. We need to go down to the informal sector and ask them, how can we help you with training? And then bring them in for the training. And the training might not be technical. It might be on bookkeeping. It might be on marketing. It might be on building my business. It might be on finding staff. It might be on growing my market size. So we really don't know. So finally, implications for Africa: delay higher level skills development till students are reasonably mature to decide their career paths, build a solid foundation knowledge for a strong future for themselves, introduce generic skills and attitudes, seed business formation capabilities into your TVET, avoid overemphasis on micro-sized NOSS, and unify to a common qualification framework or a qualification reference framework. And I know that in East Africa, you can do that, so that you can have mobility of people, mobility of jobs, mobility of industries across, and integrate much better economically. Integrate much better economically. And look for PPP opportunities, but mitigate the risks when you go into PPP. So thank you very much.
I think the first one is the platform. Actually, we should be very grateful to World Bank to create this platform for the industry and then the college to meet each other. And actually, TVET is not the first program here. As you know, it has been done in China, and then we have China has been growing through the TVET and then getting a lot of the human resources. So we are kind of like come here to pay back for what World Bank have provided the platform to us, and now here somehow we are a part of the platform to create for the industry.
I think it's kind of easy in my opinion, because all of the institute, like you are the bridge and you are the link between the workers, between our industry. There's gap, but because of you there, you are the bridge, you are the link, so we can avoid the gap. But you see, from the institute side, you can provide it, the academic and the skillful, and from the industry side, what we can provide is practice. So we can together make the practice learning. This is really helpful for the workers, and also at the same times, what between us, we really, first we need to build the trust. communication, but the communication must be efficient communication. And then I think everything will be easy. For our industry park, I think that is really our pleasure if for the institute can set up one whatever, if like training school or whatever in our park, that we really warmly welcome. We really need, because you can see currently we have 17,000 employers. It will be soon we can have another 30,000. So this is really we need. But I think is like...
excuse me, are you saying that the institutions should take an opportunity and set up a training institution in your industry?
Yes, why
Excellent.
not?
Okay.
Why not?
Do you have another?
No, normally I don't like to ask why. I like to ask why not.
I think I have 3 words I like us to remember. First is leadership. We very much would like the heads of every institution, the principals of the colleges, step up and take up a responsibility. This is not a department or center project. It's an institute-wide project. That's why we call it Flagship Institute. I can already feel the difference for those who are here with the head of the institutions versus those who are only here as a center or as a department. My second word is teamwork. I've already got feedback, especially from my procurement, FM teams, that somehow the PIUs are operating in disparate fashion. You have technical team working separately from procurement, financial management, and it's important to remind us this is one project. A technical person, no matter how wise, how qualified, will not be able to carry this out by yourself. And a procurement person cannot do a procurement plan without inputs from all the technical departments. A financial management person cannot draw a forecast cash flow in the next 6 months without input from technical team. The gender person cannot work in isolation, the industrial liaison person cannot work in isolation. So please do work together as a team. Teamwork is very important. And my third word is communications. Whether it's between the team, or between the team and the college, or between the college and the national coordination units, or between the national ministry and the regional, or between the regional or the World Bank, this line of communication is very important. I think we have a communication strategy, and I will hope IUCA to quickly finalize and share with all of you.
I have a few asks of you. We at the World Bank will do our utmost to support you, to see you succeed. This is our job. But I also want each one of you who's working on this to think that this is your child that's going to be benefiting from this, and give it your all. I also hope that Kenya EASTRIP will become effective soon so that Kenyans can begin to benefit from this. And finally, I hope that IUCA will really take this to ensure the coordination and the service to everyone, that this becomes a major success so that we can replicate it all over Africa.